Hi guys, it's Teal, Sunbury Housewives. Welcome back to another video. If you're new to our channel, thank you so much for stopping by. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see future videos. I'll have everything listed in the description box below with everything that I used today. So make sure to check that out along with my website. So let's go ahead and get started. So I got this 4-in-1 cup cooler or can cooler and tumbler combo from Amazon. Actually, I got it probably about a year ago, and I'm just now getting around to using it. So I loved the colors on it, so I didn't really want to do too much to it, but I still wanted to add a little bit of design to it. So that's what I'm going to do. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm keeping the lid to the tumbler part of it on it so that I can mark to where the back of it is. Because the back of it is where I want to put some vinyl that has this really cool marble-ish design on it that I found at Hobby Lobby. So that's what I'm doing here. So I removed the lid, and as you can see, there's two lids. One of it is for the canned, and it comes like, I'll explain later. So I'm going to go ahead and measure around to see how much I need to be able to cut for the vinyl, because I'm only going to be covering half of this with the vinyl. So I just go ahead and measure for my measurements. That made no sense. Anyway, so this is the vinyl that I found at Hobby Lobby. It's the Paper Studio brand. It is a removable vinyl, and I just found that this was gorgeous, and the colors matched perfectly to this this tumbler / can cooler. So I go ahead and I cut the portion that I wanted to use, and I wanted this part particularly. So I go ahead and sand it very lightly because if I didn't want to sand the design off itself. So I go ahead and I place the vinyl at the back of the tumbler, because on the front I'm going to just go ahead and put some words of affirmation on the front. So I go ahead and smooth this out. I did cut it a little longer than I wanted to. So once I get down to the bottom, I just cut off the remainder of that. I didn't take the backing off of it because I can still use that little sliver that was left on a different project if I want to. So I'm smoothing it down, making sure that I get all the bubbles and the wrinkles out. Any bubbles that there might be, I do take my craft knife and pop those. And any wrinkles down at the bottom, I do take my heat gun a little later and try to smooth those out as much as possible. There's my craft knife. So, and I think right here is where I bring out the heat gun. Yep. So initially, I thought about taking some tape and just cutting it right at the bottom, and then I quickly changed my mind because I wanted this to go all the way to the bottom. And I even have it curved down just slightly. So that's where I take the heat gun and curve it under just a little bit. And the heat gun helps it smooth out quite a bit. And once I got that, then I take my craft knife and go ahead along that little ridge right at the bottom and cut it off. And then I decide to go ahead and, I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay, I'm still cutting. I think I do go ahead and straighten up a little piece here that was just off course a little bit. And then heating it up because there's a little bit of wrinkling, which no big deal. But then I do go ahead and just cut off a little bit more because I didn't want it to go all the way to the edge because it kind of looked odd to me. So then smooth that out, and then I take my craft knife up at the top, and I'm continuing to pop bubbles. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut off a sliver up at the top. You want to make sure that your knife is very sharp. Mine was not. So I'm going to switch out my blade. Still popping. So here I'm going to go ahead and switch out my blade for a fresh blade, and you'll see how much more smoothly this goes. Like butter. And that exposes the very top rim so that the epoxy has something to adhere to. And continuing to pop. Little micro bubbles that's in the vinyl. Now that that's all done, I went ahead and mixed up epoxy. I mixed up more than I needed to because I was working on other projects. But here I'm just going to use less than 1 milliliter of epoxy and put a very, very, very thin coat all over the entire tumbler. And I decided to go ahead and use some cheap glitter to go over the entire tumbler because I wanted it to kind of have a frosty look. Even though, you know, I have that glitter on the other side, I still wanted to add a little extra onto this tumbler, especially onto the vinyl side. So I'm using ice from the glitter guy. This is a cheat glitter. This allows whatever is underneath the glitter to show through the glitter. So I'm just going to go ahead and tap off the extra and then clean up my work area. And look how pretty that looks. Now it will look different once epoxy is on. It'll brighten back up and you'll see that amazing shine and sparkle. I did seal this with 2 times Rust-Oleum clear spray and then popped it on my turner for 2 coats of epoxy. And then I did add a little bit of this chunky glitter that's posted here, and it's also in the description box below. It just needed something extra, just on the vinyl side though. Once that was cured, after 12 hours, it was time to add one of the decals. I just added the offset, and I used this beautiful holographic vinyl. I wanted to add it separately because I wanted to. So I added this holographic vinyl, and then I added 2 more coats. Just 1 coat. It only needed 1 coat of epoxy after this, because I wanted to kind of have the illusion of the actual lettering popping off a little bit. So that's why I did that. So here I'm weeding out the little bits in between, and then I'll place this on my tumbler once I ever get that all weeded out. Once that's placed on there, I did give it 2 coats of the Rust-Oleum 2 times clear spray, popped it on, and then gave it a coat of epoxy. So here I am placing the actual words. I just wanted some words of affirmation, just something very simple. So I made a SVG of these words that simply say important, worthy, loved, strong, and enough. And oddly enough, I struggled with getting these lined up. My transfer paper kept wanting to stick where I didn't want it to stick. So it took me a while to get it lined up. I used the parchment paper method to line them up. And once I got it placed to where I wanted to without it sticking, they lined up perfectly and I was able to transfer them without any problem. And they were lined up perfectly then. But yeah, I was on the struggle bus again today. So enjoy my struggles. And here I finally get it. Finally. And once again, I'll put 2 coats of the Rust-Oleum 2 times clear spray, pop it on my turner for 2 coats of epoxy, and then let it spin for 12 hours. And once that's done, I'm ready to clean up my rim and clean up the tumbler and for it to be done. So here I'm just cleaning up the rim, getting all the excess epoxy that's on the rim. And there really wasn't much this time. I must not have been that sloppy. Shocker. I'm a sloppy crafter, so I was actually surprised there wasn't much. So then I'm just taking some 91% alcohol and cleaning up the inside to get off any excess glitter that is inevitably always inside, and cleaning up the outside. So here is the can cooler lid, and this fits like a regular can size, slim size, and a beer. And then here is the lid for just being a regular tumbler. This, I think, is the coolest thing, and this is listed in the description box below if you want to get it. You don't even have to do anything to it if you don't want to. But here it shows you a 12-ounce standard, a 12-ounce slim can, and a 12-ounce beer bottle that goes with that lid. And then this is just the regular one. And there's different divots on the inside of the can for like the different size things. But yeah, this is really cool. And here it is all done. I absolutely love how this turned out. I'm in love with that vinyl. And this is actually going to someone who's really going through some rough stuff. And I just hope that these words are a strength to her. She's a very special woman. And yeah, so please give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. And check out the description box. And I will see you guys later. Bye, guys.